What's going on, guys? My name is Michael James. I'm a published author and full-time writer, and today I want to give you a recommendation that I think is the best advice I can give to any writers out there that are looking to pursue writing as a career or make it a full-time job. Whatever the case may be, I hope this is helpful to you. So grab yourself a comfy sweater, because grandpa sweaters are what make writers real writers, and grab yourself a coffee and let's dive in. Alright, so the best piece of advice I can give you is to become either a freelance writer or ghostwriter. Now, you might be thinking, why would I do that? Or never. I would never do that. Maybe that's what you're thinking right now, but hear me out. Please listen to my 3 reasons why you should do this, and I think you will be surprised if I change your mind if you're not interested. So, first of all, ghostwriting is something that has a time constraint on it. So if you are hired for a job for ghostwriting some fiction story, then most likely they'll have a deadline, whether it's 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, 30 days, whatever the case may be. You are given a deadline to finish the story or the chapter or the amount of words they ask for whatever you're writing. And because of this, it is going to push you to write. It's really going to be so motivating. If you have a time limit to finish something and you're going to let someone else down that is supposed to be paying you, it's going to push you to be on top of your game and grind hard to write this story. Whether that means you have to do research, whether that means you need to write multiple drafts, it's going to push you so hard you won't even believe it. I love ghostwriting for this reason. This is the main reason I started ghostwriting, because I wanted to become a better writer, and I knew, well, if I'm writing for someone else, I will not let them down. And if there's money on the line, I definitely won't let them down. I'm going to finish that story, whether I do, whether that means it's going to be the best story in the world, probably not, but it's going to be good practice, and it's going to push me beyond my limits that I have ever pushed myself before, and it's going to make me write. So that is the first reason you should become a ghostwriter. It has a time constraint and it's going to push you to write. The second reason you should become a ghostwriter is because ghostwriting gives you the opportunity to write in all kinds of genres that you never thought you would be writing in. This is the same for nonfiction. If you wanted to offer article writing as a freelance writer, then you're going to write on topics you've never even heard about, that you've never even read before. So ghostwriting and fiction writing and nonfiction writing is so awesome, because it's going to push you out of your comfort zone a little bit and make you write about things that you never realized you could actually write about. You might find it very interesting that you love sci-fi fantasy and you've never read sci-fi fantasy before, and now you want to go read more sci-fi fantasy so you can write your own sci-fi fantasy someday. Or maybe you will write about a thriller and you'll be like, wow, I never thought I would be into writing creepy stuff, but I love writing this stuff. Whatever the case may be, you are going to find that practicing different genres is going to stretch you, but it's also going to help you hone in on what you love to write. And for me, I never thought I would be into horror and creepy stuff and thrillers, but I love writing that stuff. I also wrote fantasy, and I was surprised with myself. I thought it would be super difficult and I would hate it. I do find it difficult, but I actually love it. I really enjoy writing fantasy. So I would really recommend that you try ghostwriting for this reason, to be stretched as a writer. It's going to help you practice these other genres and help you just discover what you love to write. And the third and final reason I would recommend trying ghostwriting is because you can build a portfolio and sometimes make connections that can change your whole career, your whole life. For me, I met 2 women through ghostwriting that I had the opportunity of getting a published book with them, and we are the co-authors of it. I wrote it, but it was their idea. They came to me and said, hey, I have this book idea, will you write it? They paid me to write it, and now I have a published book with my name on it. Now, this doesn't always happen, but this is a great opportunity to do that, as well as building a portfolio. Someday when I go to an agent and I say, hey, I wrote a book, this is the book I want to get published, and I show it to them, I show them my few sample chapters or whatever, I can also say, just so you know, I have X amount of years as a ghostwriter, and I've written this many books. Here are books that have actually been published that I've written. If you want to see how much I've been writing. So now they trust me a little more. I have a little more experience under my belt. I'm not just some noob writer that's trying to contact them and become famous over my first wonder hit novel, you know? So ghostwriting can make you connections, and it also helps build a portfolio. Now, you're not going to be connected to all your writing, obviously, because you're selling it. It doesn't happen all the time where they let you put your name on stuff. Sometimes this is like a blessing in disguise. There are tons of stories I've written in the past that, you know, in hindsight, now that it's been a few years, I'm so glad I'm not connected to those stories anymore. Not that I didn't enjoy writing them, but it was poor writing compared to the grade of the level of writing I can write at now. So I am so glad that I had those opportunities to write. That being said, I still got 5-star reviews for all of those stories I've written. I've never received anything lower than 4 stars, and it was only 1 4-star. All my other reviews are 5 stars, and I have over 170 reviews. So I must be doing something right if people are loving what I'm providing. Also, I did charge cheap prices in the beginning just so I can get some sales. I only charged $50 for like 10,000 words short stories, which is insane. That is so low for the amount of time it takes to write that. But I was just trying to get sales. And honestly, even if that writing in the very beginning was bad because I wasn't a very good writer when I started and I was forcing myself into an uncomfortable position, so I actually am motivated to learn about writing and put in the practice and effort to write stories, all of that led to me still getting 5-star reviews, because they were like, you know, even if they weren't like, this is incredible writing, they were like, for $50 this was totally worth it, or for $40 this was totally worth it, or whatever the price was. And now today I'm a much more experienced writer. I have a lot more talent. I've taken a college course on writing. I've read books on writing. I've practiced writing with dozens of other stories. I have 2 published books. You know, I've built a portfolio over the last few years of ghostwriting, so now I can sell for a much higher price, and I can still make sales and still get those 5-star reviews because I am giving my service that is worth that amount or even more. I usually go beyond the expectations of my buyers. So all of this being said, just in conclusion, I want you to know that ghostwriting and freelance writing is something that's going to motivate you to write. It's going to push you to write. You're going to get paid for it, which is awesome. You can actually make a living out of it if you do it for a long enough time, and you can increase your prices and get good reviews. You can make connections. You can build a portfolio, and you're just going to be stretched as a writer. You know, when I first started and I first got my first sale, it was so exciting and so scary at the same time, because I was like, oh my gosh, I actually got a sale. I'm so excited to write this. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to write. I need to figure out how to write a story. And so I started digging and started studying and started listening to people on YouTube and podcasts and audiobooks and everything. And it pushed me to try to write a story. And I successfully wrote my first story. And I only got like $40, like I said, but I was like through the roof excited. And I was so excited to get my next story because the guy gave me a 5-star review and he said thanks. So I was like, this is awesome. I can't wait to do it again. And then I can't wait to do it again and again and again. And now I'm getting so many sales, I need to up my prices so that I can keep up with everything. And then I kept getting more sales and more reviews and kept going, and it was just awesome. And now I do it for a living, and it's awesome. And I'm still building my portfolio while I'm working on a novel right now that I hope to send to an agent someday and become my own published author. And yeah, it's just exciting. So I can't stress it enough that I would highly recommend ghostwriting to anyone that is a writer that is maybe a procrastinator and cannot find the motivation to write without something outside of them pushing them to do it. You know, that's why I tried ghostwriting, because I knew if money was on the line and someone else would be disappointed if I didn't do it in time, then I would push myself to actually finish things and actually practice writing. So I write every day, I learn about writing every day, and I have grown as a writer so much because of it. And I feel like I'm repeating myself now, so I'm just going to end it here. I hope that you learned something in this video and that maybe you'll go try ghostwriting. I would recommend trying Upwork and Fiverr. Those are the biggest freelance platforms I know of. There's probably other platforms that are specific for freelance writing or ghostwriting that you can check out. Find different ways to push yourself to be writing. So hopefully this was helpful. Comment down below if this was helpful and what you think of this video or this idea. Maybe you agree or disagree. I'd love to hear about what you think. And like this video if you enjoyed it and you learned something. Please subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will see you in the next video.